First news is Liverpool team versus Brighton confirmed as Ngumoha and Szoboszlai decisions made. Second news is Arne Slot just unleashed new Florian Wirtz and it could help lead Liverpool to the Champions League. Third news is Ekitike left in tears as Liverpool suffers new injury blow versus Brighton. Welcome back to the LFC Transfer Hub, your number one source for everything breaking at Anfield. Liverpool team versus Brighton confirmed as Ngumoha and Szoboszlai decisions made. Liverpool has confirmed its starting XI to take on Brighton with Arne Slot bringing Cody Gakpo back in and Ngumoha among the players to bring off the bench. With Alisson Becker set to spend some time on the treatment table again, Georgi Mamardashvili is handed another chance to impress in goal. Jeremy Frimpong, Ibrahima Konate, Virgil van Dijk and Milos Kerkez line up along the back four. Midfield is where Szoboszlai's best position is, and he could be there alongside Alexis Mac Allister and Ryan Gravenberch. Hugo Ekitike is joined up top by Gakpo and Florian Wirtz, though the exact formulation of those in the final third remains to be seen. The German could be a number 10, with Szoboszlai on the right, or the Hungarian could be at full-back with Frimpong on the wing. Slot said on Friday that he doesn't want Szoboszlai playing out of position, but that he may have no choice. The Dutchman is expecting a good game for the neutral, with Fabian Hürzeler keen for his players to play an attractive style of soccer. That should, in theory, be exactly what Liverpool wants. The Reds have not been free-flowing often this season, though Slot is keen for his side to build on the way they played midweek in the Champions League during a 4-0 demolition of Galatasaray. "You are saying we're struggling to score goals and then you added in the first half," he said on Friday. "I would say we are struggling to score goals. Not that we don't score them, but with all the chances we create, it's unbelievable that we don't score more, especially looking at the quality we are having up front and throughout the whole team. But I don't look at games like that, like, okay, they will score in the second or the first half, or are we first or second? No, we need to be ready from the start because they will make it a very intense game, as I just said, and apart from the physical part, it's mostly also emotionally and mentally. It's not always easy after such an emotional, physical, and mental peak we had on Wednesday evening to then go to a 12:3 p.m. kickoff and face a team and fans that are not going to hold their hands in front of their face but want to come at it straight away. There we have to be very well prepared and be ready to face that fight and go into that fight with them." Second news is Arne Slot just unleashed new Florian Wirtz and it could help lead Liverpool to the Champions League. When Liverpool committed to spending up to $157 million, £116 million, including add-ons on Florian Wirtz last summer, the excitement was justified. This was a player who, at the age of 22, was already a leading light for his country, Germany, who many had assumed would end up at Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. Instead, Arne Slot successfully pitched to him the idea of moving to the Premier League. There was a clear plan in place at Anfield for how he would fit and where he would play. In the short term, his creativity could help compensate for the loss of Trent Alexander-Arnold. In the long run, he could become the focal point around which the team's attack is built without Mohamed Salah. While he has tended to be used as a number 10, though with a winger on either side, there appears to be a strong argument that Wirtz is actually best in a slightly different role. Against Galatasaray last time out, he excelled, creating 8 chances for his teammates, a record in Europe for a Liverpool player since Opta began collecting data, when coming inside from the left flank, a position he regularly played for Bayer Leverkusen. Wirtz coming inside allowed Milos Kerkez to put in his best performance in a Reds jersey to date, with the hungry fullback flying forward from defense and showing a version of himself that hasn't been seen too often since his Bournemouth days. In the center, Wirtz moving to the left allowed things to be shored up in the middle, with Szoboszlai helping but Alexis Mac Allister and Ryan Gravenberch looking much more solid as a result of the extra man being alongside them. While Mohamed Salah is now injured, he too looked much better in the new-look shape, with Wirtz teeing him and the Egyptian stationed much closer to goal. With Wirtz as a number 10, Liverpool gives its creative hub a free role and that can work. It did, to name one example, in the game against Sunderland last month. On other occasions, though, the team has been wide open defensively. Moving the German to the left means that Szoboszlai can do his best work and Mac Allister and Gravenberch are protected rather than exposed. With a lack of a Luis Diaz replacement down the left flank and Rio Ngumoha still learning the game, Cody Gakpo has been used even when he has been out of form. Wirtz is a viable alternative though, at least as long as Jeremy Frimpong is available to play at right back. His fitness is still needing to be managed. For me, always the most important thing is that the team does good, Wirtz said after a strong performance on Wednesday. But when I can help like this to create chances to score, then I'm happy. If Liverpool can use the same template as in that game for the rest of this season, it would appear to have a decent chance of proving a success. Third news is Ekitike left in tears as Liverpool suffers new injury blow versus Brighton. Liverpool has suffered yet another injury blow, with Hugo Ekitike forced off just minutes into the Reds' Premier League clash with Brighton. The striker was sent tumbling to the ground after a heavy challenge from former Reds star James Milner. Ekitike limped off the pitch for treatment before making his way back on, but shortly after was substituted as he looked to be in some pain. Curtis Jones came on to replace him, with the French international in tears as he made his way off the pitch, dealing Liverpool yet another blow as the international break approaches after Saturday's game. Milner was heavily involved during the opening stages of the game, with a challenge on Dominik Szoboszlai just moments earlier having left Arne Slot fuming on the touchline as the former Liverpool man led with his arm. Ekitike's withdrawal adds to Slot's worries, with the Reds' boss having already been without two of his key players against Brighton. Mohamed Salah had been ruled out after being asked to be substituted in midweek against Galatasaray, while Alisson Becker is set for another spell on the sidelines, having suffered a fresh injury setback. Taking to Instagram on Saturday, Alisson wrote, "Unfortunately, I'll be out of action for a while, already working hard to be back stronger, thank you for the support." Ekitike's injury comes as Alexander Isak nears a return to action, with Slot revealing on Friday that he hopes to have the striker back in time for the Champions League quarterfinal against Paris Saint-Germain. "Alex will available for PSG, yes, the question is what you mean around being ready," Slot said. "If you want to have the player who played exactly a year ago against us in the Carabao Cup final, and was too good for us on that day, then I would tell you I have my doubts about that after 7 or 8 months out. But I expect that I can use him for minutes. Exactly what I get from that I cannot tell you because he hasn't trained with the team even once."